Hi guys, I'm Luke. I'm a dad and I'm a sober transformation coach, and I'm someone who knows exactly how tough it can feel to break free from the drinking cycle, especially when you're juggling things like work, family, and the pressure of being a good parent, which deep down I know that we all want to be. My own turning point came when my son asked me, "Dad, are you an alcoholic?" That question hit me hard, and it made me realise that my drinking wasn't just all about me. It was shaping my kid's life too. I knew that I had to make a change, and it's been the best decision for myself and also for my family. By the time that I hit 40, I was just so fed up. I spent years trying to moderate my drinking. I was trying to cut back. I was trying to set all these different rules. And I was just making promises to myself, but nothing ever really stuck. I was just exhausted. I knew that I wanted more for myself and for my kids and my family. That frustration was the fuel for real change. I didn't just stop at getting sober. I went all in. I became an accredited life coach and then an NLP master practitioner because I felt so passionate about helping other dads like myself break free from the cycle. Now, everything that I teach comes from both my own journey and the best tools in the world of coaching and personal transformation. This video is for busy dads who are tired of feeling tired, missing out on those family moments, or worried about not being the role model that they want to be deep down. Maybe you've tried to quit before, but life, stress, or social pressures have kept on pulling you back. But if you're worried, like most dads that I speak to, that it's just too hard and that you're going to end up missing out on all that fun, then I'm here to prove you wrong and show you that there is another way. Therefore, over the next 7 days, you'll learn how to break free from that cycle. You're going to feel more present. You're going to feel more energized with your kids. And you're going to take your first real steps towards being the better dad and the man that you want to be. This isn't about being cured in a week. It's about resetting. It's about building momentum. And it's about proving to yourself that real change is possible. Here's what to expect in this course. We'll build your own personal sober action plan. You'll learn how to handle cravings and emotional triggers. You'll learn how to rebuild your confidence and make and grow a real sober identity. Create daily routines that actually work for dads like yourselves. Prepare for setbacks and set up real accountability. And then finally, we'll map out the next steps for long-term success. Save this video now so you can come back to it whenever you need that boost, which we all do from time to time. Download the free workbook below in the description and follow along and track your progress. Please comment below with your why. Let's build a community of dads who support dads. I read every comment, so please do so and you might inspire another dad. Like the video if you want more practical, non-judgmental support, and share this with a mate who might need it. You never know who is ready for change. Before we dive in, please take a minute, pause the video if you need to, and ask yourself, why do you want to break free from the drinking cycle? Who benefits if you succeed? What could your life look like in 1 year from now, alcohol-free? Download the free workbook in the description now and turn to the My Why reflection page. Please write this down and share it in the comments below. So, that's the journey. You are not alone and you don't have to have all this figured out by yourself. Let's get started and make these 7 days the launch pad for real, lasting change. Welcome to Module 2, guys. Now that we're clear on our why, it's time to get practical and start building that personal sober action plan, tailor-made to yourself. This is where we're going to turn intention into action and hope into real daily change. I used to think it was all about willpower alone, just to get me through, and I'd make promises to myself. But by Friday night, old habits always crept back in. Those subconscious habits that we have been building up and routines over decades. Most dads that I work with feel exactly the same. They end up winging it. They end up just hoping for the best. But hope isn't a strategy. Therefore, today we're going to build a real step-by-step plan that you're actually going to follow along to, even on those toughest days. Okay, so let's start with the biggest triggers. If you stroll down on your workbook or open it up to the trigger and habit swap worksheet, I believe that is on page 6. Here we go in module 2. So I want you to write down your 3 top triggers. Maybe that's work stress on a Friday night. It always was for me. Or it could be a social event. For each trigger, jot down what usually happens. So an example of this could be work stress. What usually happens is I come home and I pour a drink. Now brainstorm a healthy swap or action for each trigger. So an example of that could be, instead of a drink, I go for a walk or I grab an AF beer. So for me, it was Friday night. What usually happens? Grab a beer, normally out of the fridge on the top shelf. Now my new action for this would now be, if I ever get those cravings or those urges, it would be to go for a walk. So I would say go for a walk. Pause the video here and fill in your own triggers and swaps, and then comment below with your biggest triggers. Let's remember to support each other, guys. Let's map out all the other triggers as well and how they unfold. So the trigger, the urge, the old habit, that being a drink, and then the regret. Now let's rewrite your story. So the rewritten story could be trigger, pulse, new habit. New habit being the walk or the alcohol-free lager, or it could be texting for support, which is obviously a win. This visual is going to help you see that there's always a moment that you can choose differently. You can rewrite this, guys. Try this on your iPad or in your workbook if you printed it out, or even on a scrap bit of paper. Seeing your plan visually is going to make all the difference. The secret for making these new habits stick is by stacking them into routines that you already have. So, for example, if usually you unwind after work with a beer, then swap it for a walk or journal while your kids are doing their homework. But what about those all-important social events? This is where most guys stumble. Therefore, plan ahead. Have a strategy. That might be bringing your own alcohol-free beer. It might be setting a time to leave. It may be getting support from someone and that you can text when things get tough. You can also do all of these things, which is really, really going to help. These social situations are where most dads that I coach stumble, but you don't have to do it alone. Lean into that network. Who would your supportive person be? Who would hold you accountable? Write down their name now in the workbook and send them a quick text to let them know what you're doing. Now let's turn your weekly swaps into a weekly action plan. List your new habits on the left here, and then use the days of the week in this grid to track each one. For example, walk after work, journal at night, text my support buddy every Friday. Tick each box for each day that you complete a new habit. Here. Download this weekly action plan template if you haven't already in the workbook. Please pause here and fill in this plan. This is your roadmap for the week ahead. So let's recap, guys. Instead of hoping for the best and relying on willpower, It's now got to get real. You've got to start taking these actionable steps and creating an actionable plan. You've identified your triggers, you've created healthy swaps, and you've mapped out that weekly routine. You've got a supportive person and a way to track your progress. But even the best plans get tested by cravings and emotional triggers. Therefore, in the next module, I'll show you how to handle cravings and emotional roadblocks so that you can stay on track no matter what. Remember to download your templates, guys. Fill them out and comment below with your biggest triggers or what favourite new habit that you've employed. Let's remember to support each other. Like and share this video so that you can revisit your plan whenever you need that boost. Hi guys, welcome to Module 3. So, let's talk about one of the biggest challenges that face dads on their sober journey, cravings or urges as a lot of my clients like to call them. Now, cravings can come out of anywhere. It can be a stressful day, it could be boredom, or it could be just because it's Friday night, it's rolled around and you're stuck in those old routines and habits. Every dad I've ever coached has had to deal with them. The good news is that cravings are completely normal and you don't have to let them control you. I remember my first Friday night sober and I had those cravings. I came home from work, I was stuck in autopilot and I had the urge to walk up to the fridge, open the door, grab a can off the top shelf. But I didn't. I paused. I took my time. I had a plan. And I tell you what, I felt so proud of myself. And I woke up in the morning and I felt absolutely great. It was magical, guys. You just need a plan. So let's get practical. Open your workbook at the Craving log page and let's get cracking. Okay guys, so if you, on your workbook, if you go to Module 3, Craving Logbook and Coping Tools, there's a craving log table here. So okay, for the date and time for me, I'll put Friday night. The trigger is just getting home from work. Getting home. The intensity would have been, I don't know, an 8, say. What did you do instead? So instead of going straight to the fridge and grabbing a can, I would go for a walk. And the result would have been the craving lasted, say, I don't know, cravings normally last between 5, 10, 15 minutes, so 10 minutes. Okay, something like this, guys. Okay, so another one could be Sunday. Sunday night was always another one for me. Used to love a red wine on a Sunday. Okay, so the trigger would be Sunday roast. Okay, the intensity on that, again, was very high. I would say that was a 9. So what did I do instead? I, on a Sunday, I might have called a mate. And the result would have been, how long did the craving last? So again, my cravings were always about 10 minutes. And I felt proud and I had no regret after. So you could put no regrets after that. So take a minute now and pause this video if you need to and fill out the rest of it for yourself. Fill out all your recent cravings and then comment below your toughest time of the day for your cravings. You never know, you might help someone on here by sharing your own cravings, guys. Okay guys, so let's break down cravings. So we've spoke about cravings, we've made the log table and we've jotted down some bits and pieces. Cravings are like waves. Okay, so I'm going to try and draw a wave here, guys. Does that look like a wave? It kind of looks like a wave. You know what I mean? Do a bit of water there. Anyway, so think of them like waves. They build up and they peak and then they fade away. The trick is to ride the wave, okay? So when we ride the wave, we go over the top of the wave like this. Okay, we don't get pulled under the wave. Okay, we get pulled in. We fight those urges, those cravings, and we ride it out, and we distract ourselves with other things. Okay, now it's so important not to get pulled under. Here is a simple technique that I like to teach my clients. That is the pause, breathe, and distract technique, like I just said. So we pause when the craving hits. We just stop for a second. We don't act like we're on autopilot, okay? We don't go into that reptilian brain, the monkey mindset, the chimp brain, however you want to frame it, okay? So we breathe. We take box breathing, okay? A lot of you might have heard of this. It's when you inhale for 4 seconds, okay? And then you hold for 4 seconds. You exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. Box breathing, okay? So lots of you would have already heard of this if you're into meditation or breath work at all. So 4 sides to a box, 4 seconds on each side, okay? So, like I said, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Inhale, and we go around like this, okay? So you want to be, so when a craving kicks in, if you're not going to be distracting yourself, you can do both of these things. I like to do both of these things, especially when I first started getting cravings and urges. When in my early days of sobriety, I used to do box breathing and then a distraction. So whenever the craving comes in, I do this action here. I would do this 3 times, okay? So the different distractions you can do, I've said about a couple before, but you can do different things like going for a walk. It might be listening to music. It might be calling a friend, or even just moving into another room. I absolutely love movement. It's been a massive thing in my sobriety journey. They say movement is medicine, and I absolutely adore that saying, because it is. You get your body moving, you take your mind off it, you distract yourself. It's absolutely brilliant. So this is fundamental, guys. It has been absolutely brilliant in my sobriety. When cravings kick in, we ride the wave. We do not get pulled under, okay? We do box breathing, 4 seconds inhaling, 4 seconds holding, 4 seconds exhaling, then 4 seconds holding again. And we repeat this 3 times, okay? Absolutely brilliant, guys. But what about when life gets really stressful, which inevitably it will? Cravings often comes when these tough emotions kick in. That might be stress, anger, loneliness, any of these sort of things, boredom, but you don't have to fight them alone. Therefore, let's build some emotional resilience. Simple tools like journaling, calling a mate, stepping outside into some fresh air are really, really going to help and break down those patterns. Open up your workbook now to your coping tools tick sheet. Write down 3 things that you can do when those cravings or those tough emotions kick in. Using your iPad or wherever you've printed it out in your workbook, jot them down right now. Pause the video here and write them down. This is where real change actually starts. I know it might sound silly at first, but every time you use that healthy coping tool, you are creating a new neural pathway in the brain. You're creating that mental resilience, and you're creating evidence that you are going to be able to deal with anything that life throws at you. Okay, guys, so to wrap up this module, remember, cravings are normal. Do not beat yourself up. I still get them now. They come and go. They're temporary, but we know to ride them out now, don't we? Using the craving logbook, spot your patterns and track your wins. Remember, putting pen to paper is detrimental. It really, really, really helps. Ride the wave. Pause, breathe, box breathing, build that resilience. Okay, these are great tools to help you. If you haven't already, make sure you download that workbook. Make sure you fill out all the bits and pieces that I've given you. Like this video If these tools are helpful, then please like and share them. If anything's relevant, please comment below. And let's remember to support each other. In the next module, we're going to be looking at building that new sober identity and building that confidence. So you're not just surviving, you're thriving. I'll see you there. Welcome to Module 4. Now that you've broken the cycle of drinking and you have some tools for handling those cravings and those urges, let's talk about something that's just important moving forward. Rebuilding your confidence and creating a new sober identity as a sober person. For years, I saw myself as the guy who always had a drink in his hand. Maybe you felt just the same, like drinking is part of who you are, and you've built up this identity over decades and decades. So it is going to be tough, guys, at first, especially around friends and at those social events. But the truth is, you get to rewrite the story. This should be exciting. This is all about true growth and transformation. You get to decide who you are from here on out. I'll be completely honest with you. When I first went away on holiday, when I first went sober, it was tough. I felt awkward. I felt out of place. I was always that guy with a drink. I was always getting the drinks in. I was always first up. I was pretty much every time I'd finish my pint first and I wanted another drink, I was looking for that next drink. I worried about what people would think, but each time it got easier and easier as that sober person. My confidence grew, real confidence, not fake confidence that booze gives you. Not just in social situations, but that had a ripple effect into every part of my life. Let's make this real for you then, guys. Open your workbook to the I am statement page. This is on page 9. If you're using an iPad or if you printed it out, whatever you've done, at the top, write your old identity. For example, I'm a social drinker or I'm that guy with a beer. So for me, it would definitely be the guy with the beer. I am a man with a beer. That was definitely me. Now, let's flip the script. Write your new identity. For example, different ones could be, I am sober. I am a present dad who shows up for his family. I'm a good role model for my kids. I am confident. I'm fun, with or without a drink. So for me, my new sober identity would definitely be a present dad who shows up. Definitely. These are really, really bold, big statements, guys. This is why journaling is so powerful. When you write things down, when you put pen to paper, it makes a real difference. It actually makes a thought in your head become real. There's a real power with journaling. That's why it's such a big, big part of self-development. I highly, highly recommend journaling, guys. So please pause here and fill in your own I am statements. If you're comfortable, please share your new identity in the comments below. Your words might inspire other dads who need to hear this. Now let's talk about social situations. If you scroll down to the social script page in your workbook, you'll see if offered a drink, what you're going to say. So an example of this could be, I'm good, thanks. I'm just enjoying the night. Or I'm good, thanks. I'm having a break because of my health. Or I'm good, thanks, because I'm taking a break because I want to spend more time with my kids. It could be any of these. So for me, I would definitely say, I'm fine having a break from it. In my early days of sobriety, this is what I used to say. If pressured, I'll respond. Now, this could be examples. I'm taking a break because I want to feel better. And that was definitely what I used to say, because even within the first few weeks, I felt a big, big change. So I would say, I want to feel better, because we all know what those hangovers and that anxiety feels like. For me, the broken sleep, the hangovers, the anxiety, they were the big factors. So if I wasn't drinking, I felt a lot better. Definitely. Exclamation mark. So the next thing is list a couple of alcohol-free activities that you want to try. Maybe a game night, maybe a hike, or maybe a movie night in with the kids. Any sort of things like this. Things that you started doing a lot more because you weren't down the pub, or you weren't cracking open a beer, or popping open another bottle of wine, champagne, Prosecco, whatever it might be. Cocktails in the summer, barbecues, beers. You know the score, guys. For me, in my early days of sobriety, the sober activities that I wanted to try were board games. I used to hate board games when I was drinking all the time, because it was just a big inconvenience. I remember in my early days of sobriety, I used to play Jenga a lot with my daughter, so that would be a good example. Jenga with daughter. Practice these lines out loud, guys. It makes a really big difference. It might feel really strange and stupid at first, but having a script makes it so much easier when those moments do come in those social situations. So many dads that I coach and speak to, this is a big part of the problem. They panic in those social situations. They go out with good intentions. So many of them say that they're not going to drink that night, that day, that whether it's a barbecue, whether it's a party, whether it's a night down the pub, whatever it might be, and they panic, and those old habits kick in, and they go straight to the bar and they get a drink, an alcoholic drink, not an AF drink. So having all this wrote down and ready in your mind is going to be a really good and big part of your toolkit moving forward. But I get it, guys. What if you feel isolated? What if you are worried about losing friends, which most people are? But you're not alone in this. Many dads that I speak to, they worry about feeling left out. But the reality is, in these times, you're going to find out who your true friends are. And your real friends are going to stick by you. And you'll often find out that only by making big changes like this. Therefore, start building your tribe now. Connect with other dads who are on the same path. Join my free Facebook group. I'll put the link down in the description below. Reach out to a mate who's trying to cut back. Get involved in new activities. Those old hobbies that you had as a child that you just give up on when you started becoming an adult, getting responsibilities, and then started drinking. Try those again. So many things that I've got back into since going sober. You really feel like a kid again. And I'm not just saying that. That is what I really truly believe, along with obviously the boost in energy and everything else. You get the time now and you get the energy to try all these new hobbies or old hobbies that you had when you were younger. Everything doesn't have to revolve around alcohol. And I know in this society, it really does feel like that sometimes, but it doesn't have to be that way. As you step into your new identity, you'll notice the ripple effect. More confidence at work, more patience at home, and a deeper connection with your family and friends. So, let's recap. You're not stuck with your old identity. You get to choose who you want to be. Practice your new I am statement and your new social scripts that you're going to be saying when you go into these difficult, awkward social situations. I'm not going to lie, guys, they are awkward, but you can overcome them. Start building a support network. No dad should have to do this alone. Remember, guys, download the workbook if you haven't already and fill in the I am statement and the socials. It's all on the social script pages. Comment below with your new identity or your recent social win that you've had. Like and save this video for next time that you're heading into those social events. Now, guys, I want to give you something to help you put all of this stuff into action. A free, sober habit and trigger tracker. It's a bit of a mouthful, I know, but this standalone template is there for you to use every week to track your new habits, spot your triggers, and celebrate those wins. So it's really, really useful. Just click the link below in the description and enter your email, and I'll send it straight over to your inbox. Now, it's not part of the main workbook, but this bonus tool is there for you to use as much as you need, even after the course is done. Download it, print it, or keep it on your phone, just like you have with the workbook, whatever works best for you. Grab it now and keep on building that new confident identity. In the next module, we'll make your new identity stick by building daily routines that support your sober lifestyle. I'll see you there. Welcome to Module 5. Now, by this time, you should be starting to break the drinking cycle through handling cravings, through beginning to build that new identity. But the real secret to lasting change, in my opinion, is building those routines and habits throughout our daily life. I used to think that big changes were all about motivation and having that willpower to grind it out. But actually, it's the small repeated actions and routines that we do daily that are going to make that sobriety stick. Motivation and willpower, they're fleeting. They're only going to last so long. They are temporary. You need to build these new routines and habits that are going to serve you if you want to stay sober. For years, my mornings started slow. They started groggy. They started foggy. I'd hit the snooze button on that alarm clock. I just felt so tired. And I was already behind in the day. But it all started with those new routines and starting the night before. I'd get to bed early. I'd get a good night's sleep. And then I'd get up early. I'd drink a lot more water. In the beginning, I would do meditation, breath work, then go for a quick walk, and then come back, healthy breakfast, shower, and some journaling. Now, instead of a walk, followed by my meditation, I'll go for a run. I'll go for a cold dip in the sea. My energy has changed so much, and it lasts me throughout the whole day. Can you imagine, just by incorporating these small routines and habits and letting them build and stack, how much different you're going to feel? You're going to be showing up so much better for yourself and for your kids. Let's make this practical for you then, guys. Open up your workbook to the routine planner page or pull it up on your iPad. This is on page number 10. Start with your morning routine. What 2 to 3 things can you do each morning to set the tone for the day and give you that energy that I was talking about just then? For me, it's definitely, examples could be drinking water, stretching, going for a walk, writing down what you're grateful for in your journal. For me, it's definitely drinking water has been a massive thing. I used to drink tea and coffee straight away, but now I drink a pint of water straight away to rehydrate myself. So I drink water first thing. Then another thing would definitely be my meditation. So meditation. And then another thing would be, after that would be my walk or my run. These are 3 things that I've incorporated into my morning routine, and they've been absolutely transformational, guys. So next is your evening routine. How can you wind down and set yourself up for a good night's sleep rather than drinking, which is ultimately going to give you a very bad night's sleep? Examples of this could be turning off screens, could be reading, could be journaling, again, could be prepping for tomorrow. So for me, it's been, I read a book now on personal development or self-development or sobriety every night now for sure. So it would definitely be reading. That is definitely different. I now journal every evening for sure. And I definitely get a better night's sleep. So better sleep would definitely be on there. So now write down your ideas in this space provided. Pause here and fill in your morning and evening routines. Even if you already have a routine, what can you do to upgrade it or to add to it? There must be something else that you can do, guys. You don't have to completely change your life overnight. This is where so many people get overwhelmed. It's all about those small incremental steps. 1 or 2 habits at a time. Consistency beats intensity every time. But what about when life gets really tough and really busy and you feel like you're slipping? But this is when those routines catch you. Even on those tough days, they are an anchor and they are so important. Therefore, make them realistic, make them doable. Don't set yourself silly, stupid habits and routines that you know you're not going to accomplish, that are completely out of your comfort zone. We want to be dipping our toe in the water, pushing ourselves slowly but surely. If you miss a day, no big deal. Just get back to it tomorrow. If you stroll down, you'll see a self-care and family time checklist. So pick a few things that you want to do each week. That might be exercise, it might be a family walk together, it might be reading with your kids, it might be a new hobby or an old hobby that you all enjoy. Tick them off as you go. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress and showing up for yourself and your family. You can map this out here at the bottom of this. I've left some blank pages which are called notes and reflections. So on this, guys, you can map out that ideal day and the differences that you're going to make now moving forward as a sober person. So the morning might be waking up early, hydrating, stretching, jotting something down in your gratitude journal. During the day, obviously, you're going to go to work. You're going to check in with your support buddy. You're going to eat a healthy lunch. On an evening, it might be turning off your screen time. It might be reading, a quick reflection, and then prepping for tomorrow. You can draw all this out in these notes or in your workbook or on a sticky note and put it on the fridge. All of this is transformational, guys. Putting pen to paper makes a massive difference. Let's recap. Lasting change is built on routines, not just big decisions. Use your routine planner and self-care checklist to keep yourself on track. Remember, start small, be consistent, and make sure you celebrate those wins. So much of this journey is all about growth, and we don't look back and give ourselves that pat on the back. I say it to clients all the time. You need to celebrate those small wins. It doesn't matter how small they are, guys. Remember, download the workbook if you haven't already and fill in your routine pages. Comment below with one new habit that you've added this week. Like and save this video if you want any more ideas for building those healthy routines. In the next module, we'll be talking all about handling setbacks and how to stay accountable so you can keep moving forward, even when life changes, which inevitably it will. We all know that life isn't a simple path and that things are going to happen. So we need to be ready for those setbacks and we need to be making sure that we're holding ourselves accountable. I'll see you in Module 6. Welcome to Module 6. Now, if you've made it this far, you've already proven that you are serious about change. But let's get real. Setbacks happen. It is all part of the journey, especially when you're trying to break free from a long-standing habit over probably decades or if not definitely years of drinking alcohol. So I want you to know setbacks do not mean failure. Failure is all part of the process. If you don't fail, then you're never going to succeed. You have to fail forward, guys. They're just signals that something needs adjusting or you need to tweak something. It's not about being perfect. It's all about bouncing back stronger every time. I remember one week back in the day when stress was piling up. I was trying to stay sober. I was trying to cut back. I was trying to moderate a few years ago. The kids were playing up as well and I cracked. I had a drink. For that moment, I felt like I'd blown it and I was back drinking again properly. But instead of quitting, I stopped. I was like, no, I'm not going to quit in my sober journey. I'm going to carry on. I reflected on what triggered me. I learned my lesson. I reached out to a mate and I got some support. Then I realised that progress isn't lost by one slip up. It's lost when you give up trying. Every time you get back up and dust yourself off, you're building that mental resilience. I had a client as well a couple of weeks ago. He was away on holiday and the waitress went past with some cocktails and he caved. He gave in and he had a drink. But after, he was full of shame, full of regret, and he just couldn't believe that it didn't give him the buzz that he was expecting. Alcohol is so sneaky like that. It plays tricks on our brain and it lures us back in. And then we have it again and we're like, wow, it's not what it's cracked up to be. Don't be that person. But if you do have a setback, like we all do, then don't beat yourself up and start playing a victim mindset and give up and start drinking again fully. Trust me, guys, setbacks are inevitable. It's all part of the journey. There are going to be so many bumps along the road that you're going to have to get over and move on. And you will build that mental resilience slowly but surely. So when those cravings, those urges, and those tricks are played on you again, you won't cave in. Please open your workbook to the setback recovery page or pull it open on your iPad like I have. Here you'll see a list, and the first thing is, what has happened? Why have you had this setback? So for me, and my example, it would be coming home from work and having a drink. So what happened? I had a beer when I got home, had beer when home from work. This was always the worst for me, guys, because I was in such a routine. I always used to come back from home, grab a can off the top shelf of the fridge and glug a beer. What triggered it? Stress at work. That long, hard day. What did I learn from it? Maybe that I just needed a break, or I needed a better coping tool. So what did I learn? I learned that there must be other things I can do. I learned that I should have gone for a walk. Should have gone for a walk. What are my next steps? Plan a positive, actionable step. This might be reaching out for support, changing your routine, or revisiting your why you want to stay sober, why you don't want to have that drink, which we know is going to lead to 2, 3, 4, etc. For me, it would definitely be changing the routine, going for a walk. So I would say change the routine. Pause here and fill out your own recovery plan, guys. If you feel comfortable, again, please share your learning or your next step in the comments. You will inspire other dads that are struggling. So, like I said before, so many dads beat themselves up when they slip up. But guilt and shame do not help. They just keep you stuck. Therefore, you have to practice self-compassion. Remind yourself, you're learning, you're growing, and you're not alone. Guys, this is all part of the journey. Do not beat yourself up. Move on, dust yourself off, and let's go again. Now let's talk about accountability. Open your workbook to the accountability tracker table. This is just down from the last section, guys. It is on page 11. Write down who you'll be checking in with each week. Maybe that's your wife, your partner, a friend, or somebody in our Facebook group. Track your progress. Did you stick to your plan? Did you reach out when you needed to? Accountability isn't about being pleased. It's about having someone in your corner cheering you on and helping you get back up after a tough day. Let's map out what a comeback looks like. First thing, number 1 is going to be the setback. What is that setback? What does it look like? What has happened? Was it 1 can? Was it 1 bottle? What was it? The setback. Moving on to number 2, it's going to be the reflection. We're going to reflect. We're going to find out exactly, we're going to dig in deep and find out why it happened, what happened. We're going to reflect on that setback. Number 3 is going to be the reach out. We're going to reach out to a friend, to our accountability partner, to someone in a Facebook group, someone in a WhatsApp group, to maybe a coach. Number 4 is going to be adjust the plan. So what have we got to do? What can we do differently? What didn't serve us this time? What do we need to do moving forward so this doesn't happen again? Number 5 is going to be taking that next step. So take next step. What are we going to do moving forward? How are we not going to come up against this setback again? And then the 6th and last one is going to be celebrate a small win. I always like to add this one in, guys, because nobody tends to do it. When you're struggling with alcohol and you've had that setback and you start moving forward again, you don't give yourself a pat on the back. Like I've said many, many times, we only ever really celebrate the big wins. You have to celebrate every small micro win along that journey. Draw your own plan out in the workbook, whether it's on an iPad or even put it on a sticky note on your fridge. Keep on looking and studying this formula, guys. This has helped me and it has helped so many of my clients in the past. It is absolutely brilliant when you do have that setback, and we all have them, guys. It's inevitable. So next time you have one, you've got a perfect plan to turn things around and start moving forward. Now let's recap. Setbacks are normal. They do not erase your progress. You don't have to go all the way back to square one. You just have to take one step back. Use your setback recovery plan to reflect and learn. Reach out, use your accountability tracker, and keep moving forward. Remember, guys, every step forward, every day that you're sober, you are growing and you are progressing with your sober identity. Every time you get back up, you're proving to yourself, you're giving yourself that evidence for yourself, but of course for your kids as well. That real change is possible. You're proving to everybody else that real change is possible and not everyone has to stay stuck and stay the same. Welcome to the final module, number 7. So you've made it this far, and this is just the first stage of your sober journey. Whether you're feeling great or still finding your feet, remember, this is just the beginning, guys. Real lasting change is built up over weeks, months, not just days. Today we're going to be talking about how you're going to keep on building that momentum and set yourself up for long-term success and continue growing into the dad that you want to be. Looking back on my own sober journey, I've realised how much I have changed. Not just in my health, but in my mindset, in my relationships, and my confidence as a dad. It wasn't easy, I'm not going to lie. There were ups, there were downs, but what kept me going was having a clear vision, a plan, and a really stable, supportive community that I could lean on. Let's make this practical for you. Open your workbook to the 90-day growth plan and reflection page, or pull it up on your iPad. Start with your 90-day goals. What do you want to achieve over the next 3 months? Different examples of this could be stay alcohol free, stay sober. Other ones could be have more energy. Other ones could be you want to start a new hobby. Okay, so why it matters. Why does each goal matter to you? So to stay sober, because you want to feel better. The list could be endless with that one. You want to have more energy. Why does that matter? So you can play with the kids. Why it matters to start a new hobby, new lease of life. For example. So, what are the action steps going to be for each goal? So, to stay sober, feel better, what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to, quite simply, stop drinking. But it's not that easy. But with this video and tutorial, it's going to be a lot easier. So, have more energy to play with kids. How are you going to have more energy? What are your action steps to having more energy? Again, it's going to be stop drinking and better sleep, which you're going to get from stop drinking. All of these positive things are all around this one, as we know. So, better sleep. Okay, so starting a new hobby, it's going to give you a new lease of life. Action steps, that could be contact groups. So the deadline for staying sober is infinite. It is forever, baby. Having more energy, playing with the kids, deadline forever. This could be realistic deadlines, guys, okay? So to have more energy, play with the kids, better sleep, this could be, I got a bit excited, didn't I, when I put forever on this one. Have more, you want to have more energy, you want to start getting better sleep, that could be 1 month. Which you will. If you start staying sober and do all the things above, then you will, after 1 month, you're going to be feeling a lot more energetic, you're going to be playing with your kids, you're going to be getting better sleep, etc. So the deadline to start a new hobby, again, that could be 1 month, that could be a few months, it could be, you could do that within the next week. So on that one, I would have put next, in 1 week, next week. Take a minute, guys, and fill this out yourself. Pause the video if you need to. I really think this lights up what you want to do and it will keep you motivated. Long-term success isn't all about being perfect. It's about taking imperfect action. It's about showing up day after day and making those small positive changes, even when it's hard. Motivation will dip. It's inevitable and life will get in the way. It's going to be so easy to slip back into those old habits. You might feel isolated, especially after all the excitement of those first few weeks fade. I like to call it the messy middle. People will cheer you in the beginning and they'll cheer you at the end. But in the messy middle, when you're isolated, you've got to do the hard work yourself. Therefore, I really want you to stay connected. Join our free Facebook group for dads. Share your wins, ask questions, get real support. In that group, I do trainings every week. Reach out to your accountability partner and your supportive network. There's so many online nowadays. Try those new activities that don't revolve around alcohol, whether that's old hobbies, sports, creative hobbies as well, volunteering, anything that excites you. Okay, guys, let's map out your sober lifestyle as part of this module. Number 1, your morning routine. This should change massively from what it was before, as mentioned. So your morning routine might now incorporate exercise, meditation. These are just examples that I've done in my early sobriety, guys. Healthy breakfast. You are what you eat, guys. And you are what you drink. Weekly check-ins. So, check-ins. This could be in the Facebook group that I've mentioned, the Sober Path to Success. The link for that one should be in the description. So it could be a Facebook group. It could be a WhatsApp group that you are now part of. There's so much stuff out there now, guys, online So get out there and find your tribe, find a supportive network of like-minded people. The next one would be monthly wins, monthly celebrations, monthly. My dyslexia is really bad at the moment. Right, monthly celebration. So this is very, very important. You've got to look back and give yourself a pat on the back, guys, and see how far you've come. Absolutely an essential part of this journey. Number 4, trying out that new hobby. Trying the new hobby. Or the old one again, guys. Going back to it. Like I said before, when those hobbies when you were a child or when you were younger that you might want to go back to, that you'd love to do, but you haven't because life's just got in the way. You're going to have so much more time and so much more energy now that you've gone sober. You'll be able to start all these amazing things again. It really, really is life-changing. I'm excited for you. Okay, the 5th and final thing is going to be planning those family activities. You can get involved and plan family activities. Days out, holidays, different stuff you can do at home during the day, all the different walks you can do. The possibilities are endless, but you're going to have so much more time and energy now to do these things. Draw this list now yourself on your iPad, in your workbook, on your notes, on your app, on your phone, or if you've printed it out, jot it down. Do whatever helps you visualize this new way of living. So let's recap. Long-term success is about vision, consistency, and community. Use your 90-day growth plan to set new goals and track your progress. Stay connected for support and inspiration. Celebrate every win, big or small. Download the free workbook if you haven't already and fill in your 90-day plan and reflections pages. Please comment below with your biggest win of the week and your next big goal. Like, save and share this video and subscribe for more support on future trainings. We've started something really, really powerful here, guys. Keep on showing up, keep growing, and remember, you are not alone. Let's build a future together, one day at a time. Thank you for being part of this journey. I'm so proud of you, and your kids will be too. Hi guys, me again. I'm sorry, but I could not leave you without adding this bonus module. I wanted to include this because for me, understanding the science behind drinking has been a complete game changer. It's so easy for us to think that it's all about willpower. But when you know and you see exactly what alcohol is doing to your brain and your body, it all starts to make sense. So I just had to put it in. If you're ever wondering why you feel the way you do after a night out, or why it's so hard to break that drinking cycle, you're about to get the real answers. So let's dig in, because knowledge is power. So what happens when we drink? Alcohol is absorbed into the bloodstream through absorption, through the stomach and the small intestine. It doesn't take long. Sometimes it only takes a few minutes for us to feel the effects, as most of us know. Then the processing starts. Your liver does most of the heavy lifting, breaking down 1 unit of alcohol every hour. And there's no way of speeding this up. That is one of the myths, which I will touch on later. No matter how much water, coffee, or food you drink, it's still going to have the same effects. The buzz. Alcohol is a depressant. It slows down your central nervous system, making you feel relaxed, sometimes more confident. I'll get onto that as well later. That's the dopamine talking, guys. Your brain's reward chemical. But here is the catch. That buzz is only temporary. As alcohol wears off, your brain chemistry is left a bit out of balance. Our body and our brain is going to try and retain homeostasis. That's a balance of all the chemicals in our body, which can lead to anxiety, low mood, and cravings for more. Alcohol and cancer. This is a hidden truth that so many people don't know, and I had no idea before I went sober last year. Alcohol is classified as a Group 1 carcinogen by the World Health Organization. That is the highest risk category and the same groups as asbestos, tobacco, and radiation. Even moderate drinking increases the risk of several different types of cancer, including mouth, throat, liver, breast, and bowel cancer. These are the most common. This isn't here to scare you guys. It's not scare tactics, but it's about being aware of the real risks so you can make that informed decision, make that informed choice for yourself and your family. Why do people wake up 5 hours after having their last drink? Why is this so common? It was so common for me, and I could never work it out. Alcohol always used to make me fall asleep, of course, sort of passing out, and then I'd always wake up in the middle of the night. After becoming sober aware and then sober educated, I did lots of research. One of the biggest things for me was reading this book by William Porter, Alcohol Explained. It's an absolutely amazing book. Now, in this book, William Porter explains that when you drink alcohol, it acts as a sedative, helping you fall asleep faster. But as your body processes the alcohol, it usually wears off after 4 or 5 hours, and that sedative effect wears off. Your brain, which has been suppressed by alcohol, then starts to rebound. It releases stimulant chemicals like glutamate and adrenaline to counteract that depressive effect. That's why you often wake up in the middle of the night feeling restless, anxious, and unable to get back to sleep. This was a nightmare for me. It always used to happen to me in the middle of the night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just remember waking up and thinking, God, and trying to get back to sleep. It used to drive me mad, and I never knew it was down to alcohol. Reading that book really, really changed my life. Seriously, cannot recommend that book enough. I'll put a link for the book in the description below, guys. It is real, guys. This is a physical process, and it's one of the reasons that alcohol actually ruins your quality sleep. Okay, so let's talk about dopamine and reward. Alcohol triggers a release of dopamine, that feel-good chemical that we're pursuing so much, making us feel good in the short term. But over time, your brain is going to get used to that artificial boost, and it's going to start producing less dopamine naturally. That's why you might feel the need for more drinks to feel the same effect, or why everyday joys like playing with your kids aren't going to give you that same buzz. You're not going to get that same lift. Memory and decision making as well. Alcohol slows down the hippocampus. This is the memory center of the brain, and also the prefrontal cortex, which is the decision maker. That's why you might forget what is happening on a night out, or you might make choices that you wouldn't normally make. It's all starting to make sense now, guys. Seriously, when I learned all this stuff, I was like, wow. I had so many aha moments when I learned about the science of alcohol. Your impulse control. Have you ever noticed that your filter disappears after a few drinks? That's your brain impulse control center taking a back seat. That is why you'll have more arguments when you drink. That's why you're more likely to do riskier or make riskier choices, riskier behaviors, or one more, or you might say to your mates, oh yeah, go on then, one more for the road, for example. Moments like this are so common. Cravings and habit loops. Repeated drinking creates new neural pathways, okay? So a habit loop of a cue, a routine, a reward. Over time, your brain is going to expect alcohol in certain situations, like after work or at the pub when you're stressed. For me, it was always getting home from work, walking straight into the kitchen and grabbing a can off the top shelf. For example, that was my habit loop that I was stuck in for decades. This is why cravings can feel so powerful. Even when you stop, you're subconsciously going to keep on going back. 3 months, 6 months, 6 months, guys, half a bloody year. I was still going to that fridge opening the door and looking on the top shelf. I don't do it anymore, but I was still bloody doing it after 6 months. Unreal. But these things are real. So let's talk about sleep. Alcohol might help you fall asleep faster, but it's going to ruin your REM sleep. That deep sleep that your body and your brain needs. Guys, this has been massive for me. Absolutely massive. After reading Alcohol Explained with William Porter and starting to get decent real sleep when I gave up booze, it has been massive and it's been foundational for everything that I've done since. This is why you wake up tired when you drink, because you're not getting deep sleep. You think you are, you pass out, and you're not. Your body and your brain are not going to be fully recovered. Trust me. Even after a full night's sleep, you can think that you've slept really, really well when you've been drinking, but trust me, you haven't. So, how does it affect your weight and energy? Alcohol is packed full of empty calories and it messes with your metabolism. It can lead to weight gain, especially around the belly, that old beer belly that so many guys suffer with, and it's going to zap your energy levels, making it harder to play with your kids and keep up with your kids, especially if you've got young ones. Testosterone and hormones. Regular drinking can lower your testosterone. I know it's counterintuitive, but trust me, guys, it lowers your testosterone levels. This is going to affect your mood, your motivation, and even your muscle growth. Your liver and your heart. Your liver is your body's filter. Too much alcohol over time can lead to a fatty liver, inflammation, and even worse, cirrhosis that we all know about. And it also raises your blood pressure and your heart risks. Your mental health. Alcohol is linked to anxiety and depression. I suffered terribly with panic attacks back in the day when I used to drink really, really heavy. And I used to suffer really, really bad with anxiety. This is anxiety when we've got a hangover, and I used to drink to cope with my anxiety. So I'd have a hair of the dog, I'd have a beer in the morning, I'd have a beer at lunchtime, early doors. This was only making the situation even worse. As that first drink, second drink wore off and I become more anxious, I wanted another drink, and you're just in that loop again. It all made sense when I started educating myself on all this stuff. It can make you feel even more stressed as well in the long run, even if it seems to help in the moment, of course. How about your tolerance? What do I mean by that? The more you drink, then the more your body's going to adapt. You need more alcohol to get that same effect. This is why our tolerance goes up and up and up, because our body gets used to having that alcohol all the time. And this is going to, again, create that vicious circle. Cravings. Your brain is starting to learn as your alcohol intake goes up and up and up. It's starting to learn to expect alcohol in certain situations, like I said before. This cues the triggers and the cravings that feel almost automatic, like you're on autopilot. And then there's the emotional triggers: stress, boredom, social situations. These are the top 3 that I find with dads that I coach. These are all powerful triggers, guys. Your brain remembers that alcohol helped before and it pushes you towards it again. It's seriously, guys, all of these things are running subconsciously in the background. We're not even conscious of them, but we're in these loops all the time and these routines and habits that are no longer serving us. This is not a weakness, guys. I've got to stress that. These are biological and psychological processes that have been ingrained for decades for most people, definitely years. Understanding them is the first step to change. But there is good news. Your body and brain can recover. Within days, you're going to start feeling so much better. You're going to start sleeping better. You're going to have more energy. Within just weeks, your mood's going to improve, your cravings are going to lessen, and your body's going to start repairing itself. And then within months, your risk of serious illness is going to drop. You're going to feel more present with your family, and everyday joys are going to start to feel rewarding again. You're going to start to notice all the things that you were just blocking out before with your tunnel vision because you were thinking about alcohol, you were recovering from a night after alcohol, or you were drunk, or you were drinking, whatever that might be. You're going to start looking around and becoming aware that life is brilliant without alcohol. As you can see, I've got so much passion about this because it's changed my life so much. So, the myths. What can I say about the myths? 3 of the biggest myths that I hear about alcohol. Alcohol helps me sleep, just as I've said there. And I've proven to, it's been proven by scientists, guys. It actually disrupts your sleep cycles and leaves you feeling even more tired. And it always, for me, woke me up at about 5 hours after having it. A couple of drinks a night is harmless. Even small amounts of drink can add up over time, especially for dads juggling stress and responsibility. I always used to compare myself to heavy drinkers to tell myself a story that I didn't drink that much. I'd always say, oh, I've only had 1 pint when it was 2 really, or I was always bending the truth. You bend the truth to justify your own actions, guys. We all do it. I used to do it all the time. The third thing is I can quit any time. If it was that easy, most people would have done it already. We know how bad it is for us deep down, but we keep on doing it, guys. It's about understanding what your brain is going through and what your body's going through, and it's about building new habits that serve you moving forward to be the best dad and the best man that you can possibly be. Let's recap what we have learned in this bonus module. We've covered what happens to your body and your brain when you drink, why cravings and habits form, how alcohol impacts your sleep, your energy, and then your mental health, why quitting can feel so hard and there's that resistance coming up, and why it's not your fault and you shouldn't beat yourself up. We've spoke about the incredible power of recovery and resilience, and then we've also covered the real risks of alcohol as a group 1 carcinogen. So, before we wrap up the course, guys, I want to quickly recap everything that we've achieved on this course. You've discovered your powerful why, the real reason you want to change and how it's going to impact your future and your family moving forward. You've built a personalised action plan on getting sober with practical steps that you can actually follow in real life. You've learned how to control cravings and how to manage emotions using simple tools and strategies that work even on those tough days. You've learned all about rebuilding your confidence and your social identity moving forward, finding new ways to show up as a dad, partner, and a friend without alcohol. We've looked at creating daily routines and healthy habits that support you and your new lifestyle, and ones that make sobriety sustainable for a long-term future. You've learned how to handle setbacks and stay accountable, so a slip-up never means that you need to start over again. You saw how your body and your brain recover and why progress is possible at any stage. You got to learn all about the real science behind drinking and recovery, so you understand what's happening inside your body and why it's all not about willpower as so many of us think. You've picked up practical tools. You've downloaded the workbook. You've downloaded the sober habit and trigger tracker. This is all designed to keep you moving forward. You've done the work. You've proven that real change is possible, one day at a time. So, now you've learned everything you need to know to get sober and stay sober through everything that we've covered during this tutorial. You don't need a coach to become a sober dad. I get that, guys, and I also understand that implementation and accountability are the real game changers. Some people just need more support and guidance along the way. That's why I'm offering everyone who has watched this video a free complimentary discovery call. On this call, we'll create a custom action plan to help you quit alcohol for good. We're going to identify what's holding you back, help you regain control, and become the man that you want to be. If you need further support, then we'll discuss that too. This isn't a sales call, guys. I will not be pitching to you on the call, I promise. So there's no pressure. But if we are a good fit to work together, I'll send you over a few tailor-made options just for you after the call by email. I'll leave a link in the description below. Remember, not everyone needs this, but It's there if you need it. And as a thank you for sticking with me, you can also download my free ebook, The Quick Start Guide to Ditching Drink as a Dad, from the link below. You've done something really powerful, guys, just by getting to this point. Whether you go it alone or you reach out for support, I'm proud of you. Keep going and remember that you are not alone. And honestly, I've loved making this video and sharing this journey with you. I'm already thinking about creating a part 2 to go even deeper and cover new topics that matter to you. If there's something that you'd love me to cover next time, whether it's dealing with social events, family challenges, mindset, or anything else, drop your ideas in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this course, please give it a like and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. Your feedback and support mean the world to me, and it helps get this message out to more dads that need it. Thanks again for being here. Keep going, and just remember, you are not alone. I hope to see you on part 2.